A good restaurant not just whets your appetite, but also serves you with a savory delight of experiences, memories and stories. In this edition of My Kitchen Story, we bring you Bangalore's new culinary hotspot that spells Mexican magic. Over to the Heat Cafe.
So my name's Amit, and both Shalini and I have always been part of startup culture because we're from the Bay Area, California. We were born and raised there. Throughout all our different ventures, the last one I was a VP for an app company, and Shalini, you were running your own dance studio, right?
Yeah, I started a company called Tattva Dance Academy, and we really got to proliferate the fusion dance style, which was a lot of fun. And so I've always been in the entrepreneur game.
Throughout our careers, especially in college, we worked in the hospitality in various capacities.
And Amit and Shalini were quick to smell the opportunity, all the way from the Bay Area in California. The Heat Cafe is their baby that is now becoming synonymous with steaming Mexican delights.
I don't think we knew that we could pull it off in India, but we were foodies. I've been a foodie. I love good food, and I think Indians also really know that they love good food. So everyone told me, as long as you have good food, everything else will follow.
It took over a year to fire up the kitchen stoves of Heat Cafe and throw it open to Bangalore. A dream that led Amit and Shalini to leave their successful careers back in the US.
Mexican food is part of my upbringing. I grew up eating Mexican food almost every day. And to be able to bring that here and introduce this cuisine to people and the culture was something that we thought we could be passionate about.
Of course, months of research, understanding the Indian market and taste, and designing different elements to create the Mexican ambience in India's Silicon Valley kept them busy.
We couldn't have done this by ourselves. We had great support from our family and friends, and we have wonderful employees, and that's been really huge for us. We got really lucky. You know, our manager Jay and Chef Prem, they've been wonderful, and they've really understood our vision and how to bring it about here.
You know, you always have the leaders that you kind of look up to, but also work with you, and we have all of those pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah, I think just building this place was difficult, you know, finding the right people to help us build it, some of the paperwork related to putting this place together, and then sometimes you just have to be patient. You know, it took us maybe 9 months before we found a place and started working on it, and then another 3-4 months to build it. And all this time, I had left a job in California, and now I'm sitting around with an empty building and trying to source, you know, corn from Nepal to, you know, make chips out of, and everyone's like, what the hell are you doing? So I think those were the stressful times when that wasn't happening. We really believe that one of the beauties of a restaurant and hospitality is that it's a platform where people meet from all various places. And we have an opportunity to talk to so many people from so many different circumstances and not only share good food and stories and ideas, but do social work. And that's a big part of what we are about too.
What adds a bit more soul to the Heat Cafe is its heart. That's surely in the right place. Call it their own little CSR initiative that supports a city-based NGO called Little Pencils, working for the welfare of the orphans. So, after all the struggle and hard work, what is it that the Heat Cafe finally stands for?
The Heat Cafe is an experience about enjoying Mexican food and just enjoying your time with your friends and maybe learning a little bit something that you hadn't known before. maybe inviting your taste buds to taste a new combination of spices that they hadn't before. We wanted to make this a very casual approach, which is why we kept kind of a cafe feel to it, even though we also borrowed from some of our fine dining experiences in our lives. And that's why we tried to price it in such a way that it would be accessible to people. We never thought about competing with other restaurants or anything. We just said, here, this is what we're doing. We can offer you amazing Mexican food. We can offer you a place to hang out and chill. So we emphasized like nice coffees and teas, and we always tried to focus on quality. Even now if you come here, you'll find teas that we handpicked from Darjeeling. We went to Coorg and got some of the local coffees over there. We have wine that we've worked with the wine industry in India so that we can provide local things and keep the prices down, but still a great experience.
In just less than a year, the Mexican Cafe has become a favorite hangout for friends, families, and those special dinner dates. Here's why.
Signature items, I could say, probably are our fajitas, because we provide so many different types of salsas and sauces, so you can really make your own experience. And we have a make your own bowl, so that we're going to give you an experience based off of what you think you already like, as far as, you know, different types of sauces and this and that, but in a new creative way.
I think the most unique thing that we have, just in terms of, I guess, Indian people coming in here and tasting the Mexican food, would be enchiladas, because I don't think many people have heard of it, but it's just so cozy and it just kind of melts in your mouth, and it has these like corn tortillas on top of a nice stuffing, and it just poured with this red sauce.
We ended up having to make our own hot sauce, and we do that in-house, and we're expanding on that because that's why we're called the Heat, right? So that you can have a nice spicy experience, which is an important part of Mexican eating. Even our sandwiches, like, it's a cafe, so we have to have sandwiches, so we try to have them torta inspired. So there's just the fingerprints of Mexican cuisine are on almost everything on the menu, and that's how we tried to approach it.
Meet Prem. He is the head chef at the Heat Cafe, whose culinary expertise and passion translate into lip-smacking Mexican wonders. Here he is making tostadas that are just as delicious as they sound.
We're going to use the corn tortillas, and we're going to have infinite topping options on that. But today I'm going to do with something that's called soya chap, which is new to Bangalore. And this is actually a protein that comes out of soy and wheat. It's very popular in Delhi, but other than Delhi, people are not aware of it. It's a very good substitute for non-vegetarians. So we'll start off with some vegetables. We'll have like red pepper, green pepper, just to give some color to that. We'll just have to make like juliennes, thin strips of peppers. We're going to saute them, and we're going to season them with something called as Faita seasoning. It's a blend of garlic powder, onion powder, chili flakes, black pepper, cumin, all that. So once we are done this, we're going to saute it lightly. We're not going to overcook them. So all these peppers, when you're going to overcook them, they tend to lose their color. They lose that bright color they have, which is not really appetizing. So we're just going to do a quick saute of it. So we're going to saute the peppers out with a little bit of oil, like a quick sear on them, so that they're just cooked on it and still crispy. And we're going to add the soya chop, which have been cut. This is a Faita seasoning. What I said about the garlic powder, onion powder, chili flakes, just a mild touch of it. Depends on how spicy you want your topping to be. So let's go back to the assembly of it. So this is a corn tortilla. So we have different shapes. Then sometimes in the market you get like triangle, sometimes you get bigger tortilla. So we are using a mini tortilla. And this is the refried beans. These are the white pinto beans that have been soaked, boiled, and we add the same seasoning to it with some green chili and onion. So this forms as a base. So a tostada will have different textures. You have the crispy tortilla, you'll have the smooth beans, and we have the crunchy lettuce, and have other topping. So what we're gonna do is like a mix of flavors. We're We're gonna do 2 tortillas, each having its own flavor profile.
This is a very popular dish.
It's a street snack. It's just a simple, easy snack that can be made. So we are gonna doing one tortilla with pineapple salsa, then one with corn salsa. So you have a sweet profile and we have like a savory profile to it. So there's no specific rule how you have to do. Some people like the lettuce at the bottom, they have the salsa on top. Some people like the salsa at the bottom, the lettuce on top. It's how you want the tostadas to look. So once you have done with the salsas, you're gonna add some lettuce. The lettuce is an iceberg lettuce. So we just top it up more of these peppers and everything. And we add a little bit of cheese blend. This cheese blend is of like mozzarella and you have a cheddar and everything. This just to give some volume to the tostadas. Garnish with a little bit of green onion, some chopped cilantro, and we're adding an jalapeno slice on top. You can just drizzle with a little bit of sour cream. And this is ready to go. Here's your tostados with soya chap. That's an appetizer. You just have it, you just grab it and have a bite of it.
Sure, yeah. It's every bit as great as you.
I hope you like the soya chap too.
It is, it is. I can actually taste a lot of things together, and it's got, it's just the right amount of crunchiness. The filling that you've put on top is extremely healthy, you know, and tasty. So it's quite a good mixture of health and taste.
There isn't a Mexican dish that's not a part of the Heat Cafe menu. After tostadas came the fajitas, and guess what? There's a lot of India in there.
So what you do here is like you just grab a tortilla.
Okay.
And you need to make your own rolls to what you're liking. Here we have your guacamole, which is made with avocados.
Okay.
You have sour cream, grilled tomato salsa, refried beans.
Okay. So I'm going to follow what you did. I'm going to take this first.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hope you really liked it.
It's got so much India into it.
Yes.
There's paneer, and there's cheese, and there's all sorts of vegetables.
It really does.
On that note, thank you so much. It was a pleasure,
really pleasure
eating at your joint.
All in all, the Heat Cafe really is every bit as Mexican as one can get in India. And this is just the beginning.
Someone rightly said, job well begin is job half done. Amit and Shalini's kitchen story has all the ingredients to get the recipe for success. And it all begins with a dream that now stands tall by the name The Heat Cafe. So well, that's all we have in this edition of My Kitchen Story. We'll see you again with another dream, another reality.